Hey everybody, how you guys doing? Alright, this is going to be a story I found on Russia raiding Turkish businesses and sending imports back. I've been looking into a way to kind of get my stories out there a little bit more, and I noticed adding another scene to my XSplit kind of works out, and it kind of gives the importance that this is actually happening. I'm not just reading over things. And it's actually going to get my stories out there a lot more. So this is actually coming from Forbes. Wait, I think this one's coming from Forbes. Let me see. Nope, I'm sorry. It's coming from Al Jazeera, but it is business and economy. So anyway, this story actually sounds pretty good. Moscow is sick and tired of Turkey. NATO is obviously using them as a vassal for, they basically are pushing the invasion for Russia into Turkey to, all this other stuff. And basically this is the story that came out. Al Jazeera, Russia raiding Turkish firms and sending imports back. Moscow also preventing Turkish tourists from entering Russia, businessman says in apparent response to downing of plane. Protesters hurled eggs and stones at the Turkish embassy in Moscow a day after Turkey shot down Russian warplane. Moscow has started sending back Turkish trucks loaded with exports at the border and stopped Turkish tourists who normally do not need visas entering the country. At least two businessmen said. Russia's foreign ministry had no reply to Al Jazeera's questions at the time of the publication of this story. Basically, a senior Turkish official talking to Al Jazeera stressed the downing of the Russian plane was an automatic response, but declining comment to mention the move against Turkish nationals and goods. So, you guys get the idea. At this point, I think what they're both doing is they're both playing this game where they don't want to relate to the subjects between the two nationalities and the two governments that are playing these back and forth games. We saw it in a UN letter that said an unknown plane. We see it here where they're refraining from talking about certain things and events thereof. So we see it in everything we really do. Osman Beldaglu, chairman of Turkey's Ornamented Plants and Products Exports Union, said several trucks loaded with flowers returned back to Turkey on Wednesday after Russian authorities blocked their entry into the country. 6 trucks came back yesterday. We stopped all deliveries. We stopped deliveries by planes as well. So this is actually quite big, folks. I mean, they're done. They're done playing. If you want to support these guys, if you want to do this, they're done. They're done playing games, period. And this is just one of those stories where you kind of go, yeah, I kind of get it, folks. I do kind of get it. And at this point, it's kind of like, you kind of got to do what you got to do. And if Turkey wants to continue to treat Russia badly or to give aid to the terrorists along the border and allow them to use the border, to do all this stuff, and whatever the situations actually are, then sanctions have to be taken. It's bad for business. No doubt that's getting back to Turkey. No doubt everything else is getting back to them. And this is their response. I think it's a damn good one. Although, boots on the ground I think would be better. But, You guys get the idea.